Okay, guys, last day in Houston before I head out to Southwest Audio Fest in Dallas. One more preview for you. It's Pilot Radio, which is a company I didn't know anything about, which is very rare, but it's from over a century ago, and then it's being relaunched. So everything in this Zoom is new to me, so you're going to be learning almost the same time I've learned about this. They'll be in the marketplace section, so enjoy this Zoom and make sure you check them out at Southwest Audio Fest, and be sure to say hi to me.
So cool. Yeah. So maybe start off giving a brief introduction of who you are and, the brand and the name and kind of the nexus of how this all started. And then we can go into talking about it because it's something I'm not familiar with at all. And that's very rare for me in the hobby, all the shows I go to. So this is particularly exciting for me to learn more about. Um, so yeah, I'll turn things over to you to kind of just go over things.
So thank you. So my name is Barack Epstein, and at the show, the actually, what's the name of the show? I'll say it. It's going to
Southwest
be
Audio Fest is the official
yes,
name.
got
Dallas
it.
show, Texas show.
The
Yeah.
the Southwest. So hey, my name is Barack Epstein, and at the Southwest Audio Show 2025, which is coming up, we are relaunching a legacy brand that may be familiar with to some old school hi-fi folks, which is called Pilot Radio. And Pilot Radio was started by Isidore Goldberg in 1919 in Brooklyn, and it was a tube company that made radio products in the beginning, and then made home televisions in the 40s, an early pioneer of television, and then in the 50s and 60s did hi-fi products. And the company, Isidore Goldberg, by the way, he was my great grandfather. He died in like 1961. And after he died, the company existed for many years after, but it was eventually sold off to Emerson. And the kind of the brand faded away in the 70s. They just kind of, how companies meld different brands and change products around, and it just became a byproduct of its own parent company. So by the mid 70s, it was mostly gone. And again, when I would go see my parents, and we would look through old photo books of things of my family from New York in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and we would always talk about Pilot Radio. And it had been a goal of mine for many years that we could maybe relaunch this brand and bring it back from the dead. And that's kind of what I did during COVID, when we all had time to come up with ideas like that. So we acquired the trademark a few years ago, and we've been developing a new product to relaunch the brand, which we're going to be showing off right now. So my engineer is Damon Kaufman, who some of you guys may know from a company called Kaufman Labs. He's been in the hi-fi scene for a number of years. And he had a phono preamp and a few other products several years ago. He currently also has a headphone amp that he's selling on his site. But he's been my engineer for Pilot Radio. And the first product that we're going to be showing is a phono preamp. It's also got line level, but we're hyping the phono. And this is one of the prototypes of it that we'll be showing, the functioning prototype. And you want me to just talk a little bit about it
Yeah,
too,
that's
this actual product? Yeah.
it's pretty
Um,
cool look, and it's got a vintage style to it, the cage and all. So yeah.
I'll send you, I'm sure you're going to edit this, but I'll send you some photos of some of the original.
Okay.
This is actually, the design of this is actually based on a similar product. And I actually have another one in the other room. Let me get one other one. Hold on. Pause for
Okay.
a sec. Um,
Yeah, you guys are seeing and hearing everything like this for the first time, like I am. This is totally new to me, the company and everything, which is very rare in this hobby to find something totally new to me, and one with this pedigree that goes back to the 1920s that is being revitalized. So definitely interested. This is the reason you come to some of these shows.
Okay, so this is an example of a product that Pilot Radio made in the 50s. This actually is an FM modulator or FM multiplexer. We are not going to be making FM multiplexers in 2025, but this is sort of an example of some of the product design and some of the inspiration that we took towards the new product. I'll send you a photo of the one that we're more closely modeled after that, but they kind of did this kind of like see-through grid thing often, which I was a fan of, and sort of this like brushed gold vibe. And the original logo, and the little light up thing, the little light indicator, which we're sort of liking that style. So we're taking reference points from some of the original products, and trying to use them in new product design. By the way, I don't know when this video goes, but I'm going to be doing a short talk at the show on Friday at 5 in the seminar area. We're going to talk a little bit about the history of the brand and sort of the relaunch of it as well. But just okay, so a couple of things about the product. Calling it the Pilot Radio Phono Preamp, but it's not just a phono pre. It's back. It's got 2 line levels. Which, by the way, the line levels sound fantastic. All tube based. We've got an MM input and an MC input. We've actually got adjustments for settings on the MM, and then on the MC as well. We're using the Cinemag transformer, which a lot of you guys have seen in other products. We're using that for our MC. And yeah, it's got 4 tubes on the top, which you can change out, the 12 AX7s and the 12 AU7s. We also are offering a Pilot Radio tube. So if you want to get your own tube, we are not making these, unfortunately, in the US. I have to say we are OEMing the tube, but Pilot Radio did have a tube factory in Brooklyn 100 years ago. So where they did originally make all their tubes, and they often sold them for other products. But we have our own AU7s and AUXs. We also have a
really
nifty
cool.
little Pilot Radio 45 adapter made of steel that we'll have at the show. Sort of a fun little widget. It's also just something to play with. It's nice and heavy. But yeah, ask me some questions about this thing. What do you think?
Yeah. So first of all, what room are you going to be in a room, or are you going to be in the
I'm
vendor?
not going to be in a room. So
You're going to be in the vendor area? Yeah.
This is my first time doing the show. I did walk it last year. And I was debating how the best way to present the product and everything. And we're not a speaker company. I guess I could have partnered with a speaker company. But what I'm going to do is just set up in the front, and we're going to have it set up with headphone amps.
Okay.
So you'll be able to listen to the product with headphones just in the front area. So hopefully, I saw how they had it set up last year. People can just, hopefully they'll walk right by me before they go upstairs.
It's a great vendor area. You're going to get a lot of traffic, and the
Yeah.
vendor area has a lot of analog based. They have usually JR with Wally Tools, Wham Engineering. Charles Kimus might be there with his record restoration system. There's a bunch of analog vendors in that area, and plus the vendor area sometimes has actual LP sales. So having a phono preamp in that area of the show is probably a good idea. And a lot of rooms themselves don't run turntables all that much, just because having to constantly change albums is tougher. So your phono preamp probably wouldn't get as much use in a room unless you partnered with a very dedicated analog based room. But yeah, using the headphones to test it out, and talking to you is step one. That's a big value at these shows anyway. So I think it'll work for you, hopefully.
Well, good. I'm glad you think so, and I hope people will come by. And the plan is we're going to have 2 listening stations at our small table.
Okay.
And I'm going to have one that will have an MC cart, and then we'll have one with an MM, and then maybe we'll plug some line level top. I was debating bringing my analog tape deck, or might be fun. But yeah, I was going to show you the actual tubes, little nifty little Pilot Radio branded tubes.
Okay,
that we had made. So we'll have these, if people want to just grab a tube for their rig, we'll have those, and we'll have all our widgets out.
And what about price point for the phono preamp?
So I'm talking to you a week before the show, and we actually have not officially launched. We're launching at the show.
Oh, okay. To be determined then.
I'm going to have the price point announced on our website that we'll have up the day before the show. It's kind of how
so the website's not up yet either, right?
The website is not up today.
I tried to find it, but yeah.
Well, tell me when you're going to post this video. Do you know?
It'll probably be before the show. So yeah, it's gonna be probably in the next couple of days. So it'll come out before you probably have that ready. But yeah, I can always put in the comments, or you can put in the comments when you have the website, and I'll pin your comment to the video.
If there's a way you could like wait till Thursday to post this one, just to help me out.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
I just think if people don't see it before Thursday, it benefits you if they see it earlier. Yeah.
Give me Wednesday.
Okay.
Help me out. We'll have the website up like Wednesday, I think.
But either way, no big deal. We can wait till whenever. I just think the farther in advance people know about this stuff, the better it is for you and your traffic. But yeah, I can hold it till whenever.
It's great in production industry and in product industry to have a deadline. And we've been making this thing. We've been making this thing for 5 years, and we try. The deadline is this show.
So
we're making things work by the deadline. I'll say that.
This is the type of stuff I like to feature, because these shows, there's a lot of these cool stories that people sometimes miss. All the stuff leading up to the show, all the releases, the debuts, and people just show up and sometimes may not even know how much went into your booth and all this backstory. So just getting an appreciation for what goes on in the industry, a brand like yourself where people may not even know it, like myself, it existed so far back. And yeah, this is just as great to just get somewhat acquainted with it. Happy to release this video whenever it's convenient to you. So, and this gives people at least a good taste that, hey, this is one of the booths you're going to want to stop by when you come to the show.
I also encourage you to just we have an Instagram that we'll have some content on it soon. Give me a follow on the Instagram, which is Pilot Radio Labs.
Okay.
Hit me up there.
Do you know the ballpark price range of this phono?
Between 3 and 4.
Oh, okay. So yeah, very competitive. So. All right, awesome. Well, yeah, this is a good teaser and good to get a little background. But as he said, definitely come out to Southwest Audio Fest, get to talk directly and put your hands on the product and even listen to it through headphones. This is the way to really get a little bit more insight into something that has never been seen before and probably won't be at a whole lot of shows. This is your chance in Dallas to take a look at this. So yeah, thanks for joining me. And as soon as you get your website and I'll send it over, and I'm happy to put it up.
Thank you. Hey, side note, for not the video, I'm just curious. So where do you live?
Houston.
Okay, cool. So do you go to like all the shows, or you just kind of go to the ones that are in Texas or nearish to you?
Every show. In fact, right after this, I'm going to Montreal.
So is the big show is Axpona? Is that like the big show?
Yes.
And you're going to go to that?
Chicago, and that's a couple weeks later in April.
Yeah, I can't go because of I have to go to NAB.
Yeah, that one's probably sold out anyway. But yeah, there is another smaller show in Texas called it's Lone Star.
I've heard of that. I heard that it like went away and then came back or something. What's the story?
Lone Star's always been around, but it merged with a bigger show organizer, and they're going to be outside of Austin. That one may interest you.
When is that?
The summer, I think, or May.
Is it May or June? I feel like somebody told me about it, but then I haven't heard about it.
It's very easy to research Lone Star Audio Fest, and
I'll look it up. So, but Axpona, what's the vibe of Axpona? Does it feel like a big show?
Oh yeah, it's very crowded. It's almost too crowded on certain days in terms of people being able to listen, but it's also got that vibe of crowded, the Super Bowl kind of thing of every brand being there, so many people there, big hotel, a dozen floors of stuff. So it can be overwhelming in some respects. And that's why I like shows like Southwest Audio Fest, because I can digest each room thoroughly versus feel pressured to go around. And frankly, there'll be a lot of people that go to that show will never see certain rooms because you just can't get to everything.
You can't get it's a because it's too
too
big.
big.
Because some
And
people,
and the vendor areas are also overwhelming too. Just the headphone area alone, you could spend a whole day in that area. And then the seminars, and then it's just a very overwhelming show. But if you become a veteran, you kind of know how to navigate and do it. But yeah, for your purposes, it's probably too late for this one, but you can go as an attendee, feel it out. And obviously this will give you a good experience of the more traditional show, smaller in nature, but could be very rewarding for a vendor, that wants everybody to see them. And
Did
you're
you come
definitely
last year? You came to the Southwest show last year? Yeah. Because that was the first year. But these guys, do you go to their other shows, the Pacific one and the other one? The
Yes, I've gone to
Fest,
their, and Capital Audio Fest is also kind of the second to Exponent in terms of
Is it?
Yeah, it's getting really big. But you can get to almost every room there.
Yeah.
Comfort. It's a great vibe. So yeah, these people put on great shows, and this is only the second year. So you're
Right.
kind of getting in on the ground floor where, all the attendees are going to see your booth almost guaranteed.
Cool. All right.
So yeah, I
Well,
look
good.
forward to seeing you in person and seeing that up close, and maybe giving it a listen, and definitely filming some more with you. But this will give people a good taste. So appreciate you joining me.
Yeah, and on the floor, if you want to shoot any other B-roll or do another stand-up with me or whatever, let me know. We'll do it.
Yeah, happy to do that. So
Okay.
all right, well, I'll let you get back to work on that website. And get
Yeah.
ready. I got my own things I got to get out. It's some more videos. So
Yeah, excellent.
so great meeting you, and we'll talk and see each other soon.
Sounds good, man. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
take care. Bye-bye.